And we're back, folks. So, mm, if I can get my words together, the last time we were streaming the Raid Shadow Legends, my friends and I had started our new accounts. I had started my new account just like a day like before hers, so my account was technically on day two when her account was then on day one. So now what you're going to be seeing is the stream of my account on day three. So she's been playing a little bit without me. So I actually have to catch up to her. Um, Funnily enough. So I basically think what happened was she misunderstood me. We were really meant to be streaming it when we were playing together at the same time. But she's been going on doing her daily logins and getting her rewards and stuff like that. So now for the next couple of days, I'm going to be playing catch up till I catch up to where she's at, and then we're going to be streaming together again. So all you're going to see then is just my gameplay for today. So we're going to jump in, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to collect our day three reward. So if you remember, when you're a new player, you'll get like you'll get the shaman. That's what that hero's called, champion. So the champion's called. You'll get her after you play for 7 days. So when I first started the account, I got the boots, the lifesteal boots for day one. Then for day two on the last stream, I got the chest piece for day two, and then now that it's day three of the account, I am getting the gauntlets. So there's not a whole lot, as you can see, really going on because all these things are still locked because I'm such at a low level. And if you can remember, I had chosen Kale as my starter champion. I'm going to go ahead as well, collect my day two daily login rewards. Just want to get these little red dots off my screen, so we're not going to do the referral program or any of that type of stuff. We're going to pretend that we've read all this news. We're going to go into the shop, and in the shop, it'll say here as well, you get a green like mystery shard every 24 hours, and then every week you'll get a free ancient shard. So the ancient shards will give you your rare, your epics, and your legendaries. So being able to get like a free one every week is great. That's basically the only thing that I pay attention to on a free to play account when it comes to the shop. The other thing is basically like every day, the game will give you like an in-game gift through the shop. So it'll be like the appreciation pack, or today what they're doing is they're giving us a small pack. So we get one full energy, we get 25k silver, which is always super helpful. The energy is always really helpful. And then we get these two charms as well to use in the forge for crafting our own like pieces of equipment and items and armor for our champions. But we don't really need to worry about that at the minute, simply because the forge is locked to us for a while. So all that's going to do is it's going to bring you into the shop here, and then you hit claim your gift. Go back out of the shop, and it'll be in like your inventory. So you can go in here and just collect all of that stuff. Um, then one thing that they've got as well, they've currently got two targeted champion events on for your ancient shards and your void shards. Um, let's go see how. Let's go have a nosy at what they are. So we have an ancient shard at the minute, so we've got an extra 10 times chance to get this boyo. He's a support champion. Resets the cooldowns of all ally skills. Attacks all enemies, removes all buffs, places a sleep debuff. Attacks all enemies and places poison. So poison's good. We do have Keel, who's going to be doing poison damage for us anyway. Then with the Halloween event that's on at the minute, there is, I think, a couple of these have been added in. There's definitely at least one of them. We'll just click all these to get rid of our wee red dots, because I cannot stand seeing them. They do my head in, give me anxiety. So we had gotten a pikeman, a swordsman from like shards, so there's rewards and stuff. Dark elves, we have heal, he's our main dude. Got sniper. Sniper is the champion that you will get from any first like mystery shard that the bitch lady makes you pull when she's doing the tutorial with you. And that's all of that. One thing we touched upon as well in the last stream was at the bottom right here, you'll have like your wee countdown clock, and for however long, up to 180 minutes. So up to 2.5 hours of gameplay in the game, you'll get rewarded at little different intervals as you go along. So if you play for 5 minutes, you get 7.5k silver. So we have 341,000 silver at the minute, which is pretty damn tasty. So who I really want to be focusing on champion wise at the minute is obviously Kale. He's our main dude. He's our main guy. So I really want to be focusing on him. One thing that I definitely want to do with Kale is put all the lifesteal sets on him. We do need to have our fourth, but putting any equipment on him at the minute is better than nothing. And if we go back out and we go into our daily quests, so this is kind of what we're going to be focusing on today, and a little bit more progression in the campaign. So every day you'll have a couple of daily quests here to do. You'll get XP, which contributes to your overall sort of accounts XP. And as you like level that up, as you can see, I'm level 4. So as you level that up, then we'll start to unlock these things here. So when we're at level 6, we'll get access to the Great Hall and the access to the tavern. So the tavern is kind of what I want to use as soon as I get it open. So the first thing it wants us to do is summon 3 champions. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this ancient shard and see what it is that we end up getting. If it's something really, really good, I would be absolutely fucking over the moon to add them like to our main roster straight away. So we've got this dude called Siegebreaker. He's a spirit champion from the Ogren tribes. He's an attack champion, so we still need to be like at the minute. Kale is our main attack champion, so we're not really too worried about adding, needing to add another attack champion, but it's still, because he is a rare champion, it's still better than, what we're currently working with, especially because he has, 3 different things that he can do here. So he has the Heavenly Roar, which places a 30% increased C rate buff on himself for 2 turns. Then it attacks all enemies. So he increases his own crit rate, and then he has an AoE as well, which is fantastic. AoE is always super, super helpful. He has a 50% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 30% if the attack is critical. So that would mean that everyone else is going to not be able to take a turn as quickly as they would have, because their turn meter then will decrease. So one thing we'd want to focus on then for him is making sure his critical rate is nice and high. Then he can also electrocute, which only attacks 1 enemy, but it does have an 80% chance of placing a block active skills debuff for 1 turn, again, if it's critical. So that's 2 reasons why I would want to focus on his crit rate. Then his just normal A1 attack is Pelting Blow, so he attacks 1 enemy twice. So I don't really know if I'd want to like invest in him. I might just like keep him for now, but I'm gonna put this little build 1 symbol on him. So I don't mind keeping him for now because he will be helpful, just for progressing through the game initially, but it's not really someone that I want to like invest in or keep. So at some point he will end up being food for Kale. And that'll all have been explained in the champion knowledge tutorial first, like Raid Shadow Legends, like a longer video. And we slightly discussed it then as well last stream. But I went through all of like the tavern, how like the sets work and things like that, how to like level up your champions, how to rank them up, what the little stars mean, etc., etc. So all of that is on the main champion knowledge tutorial video. So there's no point in me going over and explaining all now. So now that we've used one of the shards and we've summoned one champion, then we'll see that's 1 out of 3, but we do have another 2 mystery shards, so we're going to go ahead and pull 2 of them as well. So we got Lurker, who is a common champion. She only has 1 attack, so again, yes, she does a little bit of poison, so she could be helpful for a section of the game that we will end up unlocking. But there's far, far, far better champions out there, so we'll keep her around for now. But the same with the other dude, we're not really going to keep him too long. And then we got Deathhound. Deathhound can also do poison. He attacks one enemy and places a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. So he's a little bit better than 2.5. The only thing is that one has cooldown. So she's more than likely going to land poison more often because that's her A1. So like every hit that she's doing could land it, whereas he then has the cooldown. So you'll get this then when you red dot because you've completed something, and then this will highlight when you're able to claim it. So I'm going to get 100 XP towards like my account level, and then we're going to get some silver as well. So the next one here is to use 50 energy. Then it also wants us to make 4 artifact/accessory upgrade attempts and then beat a campaign boss 3 times. So we're going to do the upgrade attempts first because I want to increase Keel's attack a little bit more. So as you can see here, the main stat on his chest piece is an attack percentage stat, which is so much better than like a flat rate stat, because it will always give us a bigger attack number as we increase it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade it a little bit. And that percentage will climb. So what we could have done is we could have clicked this little button and just upgraded to level 4, but we don't have like a super duper abundance of silver, so I don't want to be like using like too much of it too soon when at some point we're going to be switching out his gear and all that there anyway, and switching gear and pulling shards can cost a lot of money, so I don't really want to invest a lot of silver into artifacts and stuff that I'm not really going to keep. So that's still been, leveled up a bit, but more importantly, we've made 4 attempts. So we'll go and collect that. So now if we go back in here, what we'll see is this 6% has turned into 13%. So instead of that being plus 82, it's now plus 98, which is obviously far better. So he's going to pack a little bit more of a punch. Another thing to pay attention to then as well, that we have a little challenge that we've actually just done. The game will sort of give you 4 different, well, initially 4 different types of like challenges to complete. So the first one will always be everything to do with champions. So it could be like summoning a certain affinity. It could be upgrading the champions. It could be, like upgrading their skills, upgrading their levels, that type of thing. And because then we got that rare spirit champion, it just wanted us to summon any spirit champion, so we can claim that. It'll give us different rewards and stuff as well. So this one gives us some silver. If we then complete all of like the champion challenges that are set out for us, then we can claim up here the main prize or reward, as you could say. So we're basically working towards getting a skill book, a rare skill book. Then you'll have artifact ones, so it'll ask you to maybe win certain ones. So it's telling you like win 3 weapons. Then it's telling you maybe equip a certain champion with a certain set, or it'll say like upgrade a weapon or something, or like upgrade 6 artifacts to level 12 or something like that. Then you'll have dungeons, which we haven't really delved into talking about dungeons yet, and we will at some point during the game. And the same thing, it'll be like just give you like little tasks to do while you're doing the dungeons, and then the same thing with arena. The arena is more like the PvP type of thing, which we haven't really gone over or talked about yet either, but we will in due time. So we're just going to go back into the index to go get rid of these little red dots because I got some new champions. It doesn't highlight them every single time, just the first time, you get them all on your account. That's that done. So now the quest left for us to do is use 50 energy, and we've got 140, so we're fine. We can do that, no problem. And then beat a campaign boss 3 times. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go into battle. We're going to go to campaign. And we're going to start working our way then through the campaign. So the way the campaign works is it will have a difficulty. So you'll always start on normal. You cannot progress onto hard until you've done every single bit on normal, and then you work your way through the 4 different tiers of difficulty all the way up to the nightmare. Then as well, you'll notice like all these little sections. So there's 12 sections total, and in each section there is 7 different stages. Stage 12 will always be like a boss battle, so a campaign boss, and that's exactly what our daily quest wants us to do. So it wants us to beat any campaign boss. It could be the same one 3 times, or it can be 3 different ones. It really doesn't matter. But it wants us to beat one 3 times. So another thing to pay attention to is along the bottom here. And when you are doing a battle, you will get a certain amount of stars. You have criteria to meet in order to be able to get a certain amount of stars. The more stars you collect, you'll get rewards. So if I have, right now, I only have 6 stars because I've only done stage 1 and stage 2. And I've got 3 stars on them. And it'll say here I get 10,000 silver when I have 15 stars, which will do no problem. Then when you work all the way up here, you'll get 252 stars by doing all of these and getting 3 stars on every single one of these. And you'll get a void shard, which is always fantastic. When you're doing your initial like run through on normal, there will always be like an extra perk, almost an extra reward when then you finish that section. So when we finish the section, we'll actually get a champion rewarded to us, which is great. Now, when you pay attention over here, then the bitch lady has told us like how sets work and stuff in the champion knowledge tutorial video that I did do. I go over, sets and what that means and all that other type of stuff. But in section 1 of the campaign, it doesn't matter what the difficulty is, if it's if it's hard or if it's the nightmare or whatever. I usually say Carrick Castle, to be honest, but it's probably pronounced K-Rock. But the castle will always give you the life set. Then it'll tell you as well there's random drops that you could possibly get. So there's actually 2 rare champions you could possibly get from just farming and grinding and doing these again and again and again and again and again. They might come along for you, or the 2 uncommon or the commons. So obviously it's more likely that you're going to get the commons, and then less likely you're going to get the uncommons. Then obviously it's a lot more rare to get the rare drops. Then you can get some mystery shards too, and sometimes you'll get gold, some silver as a reward. But other than that, if you do stage 1, you'll probably be getting weapons as a reward. If you do stage 2, you'll probably be getting the helmets. If you do stage 3, you'll probably be getting the shields, then gauntlets for stage 4, chest pieces for stage 5, boots for stage 6, and stage 7 is usually random. So that's another thing then to focus on if you're like, oh my god, I really want XYZ champion. There could be a drop in a certain stage of the campaign. So what we're actually going to do is, because I've already got 3 stars on stage 1 and stage 2, we're just going to jump straight into stage 3. And I'm already trying to level her up to level 20. So that I can then rank her up, because I need her to be rank 3 to help heal. So we're just going to play with these 2 for now in the battle. I'm going to take auto off and I'm going to do it myself. So I'm going to get Kale to use his Acid Rain, which attacks all enemies, fills the turn meter of this champion by 25% for every enemy killed. And then this one here as well, Disintegrate, attacks 4 times at random. So it could attack, if there's only one enemy, it could attack them 4 times if, they don't die initially. And if there's 4, it could hit, all 4 of them once. It could hit 3 of them once, and then one of them 3 an extra time. It just depends. It's kind of random. And then I'm going to get her to use her rain of arrows, which also attacks all enemies. So the aim here is to get the 3 stars in this. I don't want either of these 2 champions to die. So there we go. We've been able to do that fine. We got some experience and we actually leveled up our account to level 5. So now instead of having a maximum 27 energy, we now have a maximum of 30 energy. So if I were to play today and use up all my energy and it gets all the way down to 0, then the game will then replenish it back up to 30 over time. Then we've got a couple of gems as well. We did get a tier 2 uncommon shield, but I'm not going to keep that. And we got some silver as well. Keel leveled up, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and move on to stage 4. I'm basically going to do everything in the same order as well. Just trying to clear these guys out. I just want her to stay alive, though. So, like I'd literally just said, there is a chance that we could be rewarded with champions. Crusader for the start of the game is actually pretty damn good. I'm actually probably going to keep him in our main roster for a while because of this particular skill. So it's called Rally and it attacks one enemy with one random ally. So he could call upon Kale and him and Kale will both attack the same enemy, but then Kale still gets his turn as well. So the ally joining the attack, if it was Kale, would only be using his default skill, so he wouldn't be using like any of his other ones. And then his A1 itself is called Hack, and it attacks one enemy twice. And we also got a wee mystery shard as well. So we're going to go ahead and move on. And as you can see here, if you beat the stage, you get 1 star. If you beat the stage without anyone dying, you get 2 stars. But if you only use 2, 1 or 2 champions and no one dies, then you get 3 stars. So that's why, even though I do want to use this guy, Crusader, I only want to keep 2 champions in here at the minute. And that's us ranked up to level 6 again. Happy days. So now our maximum energy is 33, and we've got some gems again too. We're going to continue to move on just to finish the first part of the campaign. We're going to get to the campaign boss in a minute because we have to defeat 3 campaign bosses and use 50 energy. And because we've then been doing other campaign stages, we'll have used, a decent amount of energy. She's in a bit of trouble here. I don't want her to die on me. Another thing as well is When you move from one round to the next, you will regain some of your HP. So her HP was lower, and then I think it's like 20. I don't know if it's like 20% or like something like that. It's definitely a percentage of healing that happens. And level 7. And Kiel leveled up again too. So now that's stage 6 done. So now we're going to go on to the boss. So he's magic affinity, and both of us are magic affinity. So it's going to be a pretty even battle in that way. He's tier 2, and he's at level 10, but he is a legendary champion. Really don't want her to die. Uh-oh. Right, well, that's her dead, which means we're not going to be getting 3 stars.
Having overcome the castle guard, the company leader called to mind how the Banner Lords had cried out their allegiance to their king, but also to Seroth.
So we're getting our little storyline now with the end of the first stage. So the champions have, got through this castle um to to basically try to find out what the fuck's going on.
Was the king's warring folly prompted by the will of the Lord of Darkness? Upon interrogation, a fallen knight confessed that the king had not been seen at the castle for many a month. His orders were being relayed by messenger from his encampment on the Eastern Front. This meant only one thing. The company would have to pass through the war-torn city of Arnok.
So now it's basically indicating, that the next stage of the campaign is going to be a new place, and now we're going to have to go and try and find them. So we're going to have to go through this different city instead. And like the campaign had said as well, we are given this rare support champion for completing the first section. So War Priest is quite helpful for early game for certain things, like with her skill set, but she's not overall really that good. I wouldn't be keeping her for long. So she has a skill called Bless Weapons, which places a 25% increase attack buff on all allies for 25 turns. For 25 turns? Jesus, that'd be fucking class. For 2 turns. But the cooldown is 5 turns. So every 5 turns, she can give us, kind of a little bit of an increased attack buff. Then Divine Light heals a target ally by 20% of their max HP. So every 4 turns, she can help out a little bit by like healing someone. Then she can also do a little bit of damage. And when she attacks one enemy, she has a 15% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. And at the end of this section of the campaign as well, we are given all of this offensive items, all of these offensive items. So they're all tier 3, so they're not great, but they're not actually horrendous either, and they're all epic. So they've all got, 3 other stats to them. Don't really know if I want to put any of them on Kale though. But because she's dying, I might actually temporarily put something on her. So we're gonna go back to our little castle. As you can see, we just had a wee pop up in the right hand corner of our screen saying that we've completed a mission. So the bitch lady is then going to talk us through what progress missions actually are. So progress missions are specially designed to help you progress quickly and efficiently. You'll need to claim the rewards for all missions in the order that they're given, but don't worry, the rewards get bigger and better as you progress. So in like the first section, we've got 75 of them to do, so there's an absolute fuckload. And when we work our way through all of them, we'll be getting a reward every single time we complete. So you'll see there's some items, there's a shard, there's energy, there's a shitload of silver, some gems, again, more energy, some stuff to use in the tavern, some XP for us, some skill books doing, to level up our champion skills. So here it says that the one that we just completed was clearing stage 7 of the first section of the campaign on normal. So we get some silver, and then we also get a little XP boost. So basically what that does, when we kind of like collect it, it'll go on to the next one. If we actually happen to already have the next one completed, then we can collect that reward straight away. So this one we can collect straight away because we've already equipped a champion with 6 artifacts. But as you can see here, like the next one, like it's not highlighted, it's like darkened or whatever, but we can still, like read it. And it'll say equip a champion with 4 artifacts of level 4 or higher. And we already have 2 out of 4 of that done. So even if that was sitting on 4, it would still be locked until we do the one before it. And that's what she meant by you do need to do them like in order. But as you go through them, like it'll still register that you're making progress. So even all the way down here, we've already earned 17 out of 21 stars because that's something to do down the line. So we're not able to cash it in to get the reward yet, but it'll be sitting there ready to claim straight away when we get there. So now we're getting extra silver for this one, and now this is the one that we can be working towards. So just like the way the campaign is laid out, if you sort of collect a certain amount of some things with the campaign, it's the stars. But with this, it's if you do a certain amount of the missions. So there's, like I said, like 70 odd in this first section. So if we work our way through every single one of these and we get to the end, we will end up being rewarded with 300 gems, which is great. Then at the end of all of them missions, we'll be given another 75, and if we complete them 75, we then get the sacred shard, and so on and so forth. So that one gets us 2 skill books. That one gets us the arbiter. So the actual bitch lady that I've been talking about the whole time, she is the champion you can't get in the game. Then we get another sacred shard. Then we get more legendary tomes. Then you can get this dude. And we'll go through all of that as we go along when the time comes. So let's see how much energy we have used so far. So we've used 21 out of 50, and we've beaten 1 campaign boss. So one thing you'll notice then too, because we have now got to level 7 on our account, the Great Hall has opened for us, and the Tavern has opened for us. So we're going to go into the Great Hall and we're going to see what this is about. So the Great Hall is to do with the section of the game that is the PvP section called the Arena. So if you earn points in the arena, you can use them little medals that you get as rewards, and you can upgrade certain things for your champions. So on the left here, you'll see the different affinities. So we've got the magic affinity, and so this will be going down the way, all 4 affinities, and then going across the way, you've got HP, attack, defense, crit damage, resilience, and accuracy. So you could put some medals into increasing all your magic affinity champions' HP in the arena, or you could increase your spirit champion's defense or their resistance or something like that. Um, it really depends. But we do have like missions to unlock certain ones of these. You can also do them then of your own accord. If you're focusing a lot on the arena and you enjoy the arena, all these pop ups we're going to ignore because we're doing this all free to play. Then we're going to go and have a nosy at the tavern. Now, the bitch lady will explain this stuff to you, but I've already explained it in the previous video with the champion knowledge and the other tutorial video, which was the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade some of his skills here. Well, one of his skills using this skill book that we have. And that is also a champion challenge completed, so we can cash that reward in. So I want to keep her for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into champions. I'm going to make sure she's locked, and I'm going to put her as a favorite. So I'm going to keep her for now. I'm going to keep him for now. So they're mainly going to be like my main three. And then everybody else here is basically going to be disposable. So everyone who's disposable, I'm going to have with them little build one symbols on them. You can make up your own system, you know, whatever suits you when you're playing. Let's go have a nosy as well if these are any good for Kale. I want Kale to have accuracy, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to swap them out. That's attack percentage. That's attack percentage. Not really much better. And they're tier 3 anyway, so that would basically mean that I don't get. I can't upgrade that as far, so I'm going to keep them as it is for now. And then for my support champion, I'm just going to actually I could put a life set on her temporarily. And that's an artifact challenge done too. So sometimes I'll just do these randomly, like as you're kind of plodding along in the game. I'm gonna put all of these then on this guy. So now he has 2 offensive sets. Because they're the 3 that I'm really going to be keeping. And I want to level her up a wee bit just. So I'm going to go get the rewards for them challenges now that I've done them. So going back to our mission, equip a champion with 4 artifacts of level 4 or higher. So now because we've got a couple of rewards in, I'm actually just going to use the silver that we've earned from them and upgrade a good few of these to level 4. So the thing, the mission had said that they want 4 items to be upgraded to level 4. So that was the last one, and now we get 50 energy and another 20k silver. Now, what the mission wants us to do is clear stage 7 of the sewers of Arnok on normal difficulty, which is the second stage of the campaign anyway. And we still have energy we need to use, and we still need to take down a campaign boss for our daily quests. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Then on the right hand side here as well, you can see the tournaments that are going on. So it's Halloween, so there's a Halloween event which is happening. So for this event, well, for this tournament, not the event. So you earn tournament points, climb the ranks, and you earn huge rewards. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to claim this energy reward that I have been able to do. And because in our campaign we got enough stars, we're going to then collect this silver as well. So because the sniper had died, we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and see if now, because we've upgraded one of his skills using the skill book and we have upgraded some of his weapons, are we now going to be able to get 3 stars on this and the boss again? So this time we were able to get 3 stars. We got a tournament point towards the tournament. We got a little bit of silver and we got another shard. So now we're going to go and see if we can 3-star the boss. So again, I just really want him to stay alive. I really want her to stay alive. She's regaining some of her health now because we've moved on through the round. Oh no. But it looks like she's going to be down on me again. And we have ranked up again and leveled up again to level 8. Now it for some reason it should have happened earlier because you unlock the tavern at level 6 and we've just been to the tavern. But as you hit certain levels, you'll get a pop up on your screen to say, like, oh, now you've unlocked this aspect of the game. You can now go explore that, see what it's all about, blah, blah, blah. And it'll give you a little bit of a breakdown. So it'll say, like in the tavern now, you can level up your champions, make them stronger. You can level up their ranks. You can upgrade their skills, and you can ascend them to unlock new skills. Should have said that earlier, though. So snipers gain a level, kills gain the level, but we still weren't able to 3-star it. So let's just go try again and switch up our tactics a little bit. So she's going into this round with more health this time. But this champion is still doing a lot of damage to her. As long as she can survive. Kiel does a little bit more damage. Oh my god, that was fucking close. But we managed it. We were able to get 3 stars on that. So if we go back to our castle, it'll have, just say this. We've now beat 3 campaign bosses. So we can cash that in. And now we just have to use another 15 energy. And now that we've been playing for a little bit longer, we can collect our playtime rewards too. So we're going to go to our campaign and we're going to go to section 2. So now it's given us again a little bit of the storyline that we've just arrived here at the sewers.
The once glorious city of Arnok had fallen into ruin, famine, and great sorrow. Peopled by desperate refugees, it had become an unclean place made darker by unknown horrors spawned in the encroaching shadow. To go through it safely would take days, to go round it much longer. So the company agreed to pass beneath it. They would venture into the foul city sewers,
Gross.
albeit risking the known danger of intruding on the territory of the lizard men.
So now it's basically insinuating that because we're in a different section of the campaign, we're now going to be fighting a different faction. So now we're actually going to be fighting the lizard men. So this section is all this chapter 2. We can get the offensive sets, and these are then the different lizard men champions that we could possibly get as rare drops. I never use any of these dudes though. I don't find them particularly good, but we're going to go ahead and jump in and see if we can 3-star all of this and get to stage 7 and take out the boss. So we're going straight into round 1, and there's 3 enemies for us to defeat instead of 2. And then their affinities are different as well. So we need to be wary because these are all force. So they're going to be doing a lot more damage to us, and we're going to be doing less damage to them. Nope, never going to give up. Like sometimes when you're doing certain stages of this, and we've got to level 9. So now we've got a maximum 42 energy. So if we were to deplete all our energy now and then wait for it to replenish, we would go back up to 42. So now that is starting with 4, but Keel has just completely swept them out there. But we want her to get her levels, but we also want her to stay alive. So we need to be thinking then who's going to do the most damage to her? Who do we need to be most wary of? I don't really want to go through the hassle of giving her items because it takes silver to have to like take them back off her. And because I'm not going to be keeping her for very long, I'm basically just leveling her up so that she is then disposable and I can use her to make Kale even stronger. I don't want to be wasting the silver on, kitting her out with stuff that's going to make her survive a bit more. So something else to pay attention to as well is this little bar under their health. That's the turn meter that's being talked about. So because it's Keel's turn right now, he's using his turn, so his turn meter is completely empty. But because she actually has more of a yellow bar than this guy, let's say, for example, if Keel did not kill this guy, she would be going next. So because her bar has more in it, that basically means that she's faster. So she would be going before him. That's what the turn meter means. So whoever has the highest turn meter is whoever's going to be going first, whoever has the highest skill stat. So you can see now, like Keel went, and then because hers was higher than all of these guys, now she's going. But then if you look really, really closely, they're all pretty similar to each other, but some are higher. So you can guess like, oh, who would go next? So who is like the biggest threat? So I want to get her up to level 20, and now she's just got to level 10. Keel is level 10 as well. Ouchie. Ouchie. Another little tip if you're forgetting what like the buffs and debuffs mean. Another thing you can do is at the bottom left of your screen, you can click info, and it will say, because my team don't have any buffs or debuffs, it'll say nothing. And then if someone does have buffs or debuffs, like the buffs will always be in blue, and it'll explain, what that is. And then the debuffs will always be in red. But then if you want to have like a little bit more information on them, you can click in here, which is a relatively new thing actually. When I actually first started playing the game, they didn't bother um having like this little grid, and I was getting so confused. But now I know like what they are anyway, because I've learned the hard way. But it'll give you a bit of a breakdown of all of them too. So just in case you're like, oh, what the fuck did he just place on me? Or like, what the fuck did they just put on themselves? Blah, blah, blah. No! So she died on me, which means we're not going to be getting our 3 stars. And now we've got our account up to level 10, so we've got more max energy. And now it's saying as well that we've just unlocked clans, so we can join a clan or we can create our own clan. And there are several reasons why you want to be in a clan. The very, very main one is for the clan boss. So you will get 2 clan boss keys kind of like every day, but if you use a key, it takes 5 hours to replenish that key. So if you, depending on what time of day, like you start playing, like if you use a key every 5 hours, you'll get another one. Use that key to then fight the clan boss. So you and your clan all work together to try to defeat this clan boss using your own individual keys. Do as much damage as you can, because this is not like my first account. We're gonna have this new account join the clan of my main account. So what we did get as reward there is hard scale champion, who's an uncommon defense champion. And because she died, we only got 1 star. So what we're going to go do is we're going to go, we've used our 50 energy. So it's the same then I've explained like with the challenges and stuff. If you do all the other ones, you're really like working towards the top reward here. So because we did all 4 of the daily challenges it's set out for us, we get another 400 XP and some gems. We can go ahead and claim that. Another thing then pay attention to is you have weekly challenges, monthly challenges, and you have advanced challenges when your account reaches level 35. So we don't need to worry about the advanced ones just yet. Weekly ones, you can do like any other day of the week as long as it's in that week time frame. So it wants us to ascend a champion once, upgrade a champion to rank 4, upgrade 1 artifact to level 12, summon a total 25 champions, and beat a dungeon boss 15 times in within the same week. So if I did that this week and I didn't do any of the other ones, it's just going to restart again. Um, and then as well, if we do all of our daily challenges 5 times, we're able then to claim this reward. And we need to do that, like we need to do that 5 times. We need to do our daily quests 5 times and get them rewards, as well as all of these, to be able to get our weekly reward. Then for our monthlies, it gives us a set of quests to do over the case of a month. Then it'll say as well we have to do our daily quests 30 times. So if we do these and then we claim that and we complete that 30 times, we'll have done this and we'll get a void shard. And if we do our daily quests 30 times as well as the rest of our monthly quests, we will then be able to claim this and we'll get a sacred shard. So it is completely possible to be a free to play account. It's just so much slower and so much grindier, but I don't have a problem with that. So one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the bruise that I have here just to get her nearly maxed out with her level. And then we're going to collect these gems that we've gotten because we've gotten a certain amount of stars. And then we're going to go back now because she has really, really leveled up. She is a higher level, but not a higher rank than Keel. So she should be just fine from here on in. And when she maxes out, we're going to get rid of her. So she should be doing a lot more damage this time, and she should be able to tank more damage this time as well. So she's currently got full health um, from going from round 2 to round 3, and then that little bit of damage that they did didn't do as much as it's previously done. And now we're up to level 11, and it's telling us that we've unlocked dungeons. So the way dungeons work is you'll have like a dungeon boss that you need to take down, and depending on what that is, you'll get different types of rewards. So build new teams, complete challenges, and earn great rewards. So that's what I was talking about earlier in our challenges section. You will have dungeon challenges specifically for this section of the game. So if you beat artifact dungeons, you can get yourself some legendary, epic, rare, etc. artifacts that can be very, very, very helpful. And there's some artifacts that you can only get through doing dungeons. So again, just like trying to get certain champions in the campaign, you're going to be grinding it at times. Then, when you're wanting to ascend your champions, you have to do potion dungeons. So, these potions here with the different colors match the affinity of your champions. And if you get the correct amount and the correct type of potions, you can then ascend your champions to make them even tougher. Which is all, again, all broken down and explained in the original champion knowledge and tutorial stream. That video is up to go over all of that, just so that I'm not completely repeating myself every 2 seconds, which I do enough as it is anyway, because I've got the memory of a goldfish, so I can't remember what I just said 2 seconds ago, and I end up stuck in an endless loop of yabbering on. We're definitely going to want to do some dungeons with Keel and get him toughened up a little bit more, because he's really just going to be carrying us through everything. And once we've gotten the campaign boss done, we're going to join a clan and we're going to investigate. Fuck's sake, how the fuck is she dying? She's max level anyway, so we're getting rid of her. Bye, bitch. So we're going to go to the tavern. So I don't have an extra tier 2 in order to get rid of her. I'm going to keep this guy for fusions. So we're not going to be doing anything with her anymore. We're just fucking leaving her. And we're going to take one of our other champions through the rest of this campaign section, and hopefully they're not going to die. So we're going to swap her out, and we're going to put in our war priest and work on her a little bit. But she might die. We might need to work on her a tad. She's got a life set on, but they're not good stats on her at all. So she can heal a wee bit, so if needs be, she'll heal herself if she doesn't die before that. She tanked that pretty well, though. Yeah. So we're going to use her to heal up a little bit, because he took a chunk of damage, and then he's just going to finish them off. So if 3 started it, and she's gained a little bit of XP, and leveled up a little bit. So now we're on to stage 6. We're going to heal him up again. So now they're both poisoned. And he'll regain some HP here as we move along. Bingo! So now we're going to go on to the last part of chapter 2, and we're going to do this campaign boss. See if she can actually tank it out and survive. I hope so. Because she's a support champion, we're not really relying on her to be doing buttloads of damage. We're relying on our attack champions to do that. So we always want Kale to be our damage dealer, and she's more, like I said, support. So she's just there to kind of lend a bit of a helping hand while he does most of the work. She can do, like dribs and drabs of, a little bit of damage here and there or whatever, but she's not. I mean, that's still a big chunk of damage for her to do, like. And she'll finish him off.
After dispatching the lizard men tainted by the shadow, the company waylaid a messenger bearing a missive from the king. They demanded that he direct them to the royal encampment. Trembling for his life, the emissary pleaded that he knew nothing of such a camp. He had only ever received the sealed messages from a hooded knight at the catacombs of the Temple of Narbak. Emerging from the sewers, the company set their compass northeastward and began a long and arduous trek to the catacombs.
So now, coming out of the sewers, we're going to be moving on to the catacombs instead. So now that we've completed that second chapter, we've been able to get all this life set. So that life set is going to be so much more helpful for the war priest. So we're going to go back to the castle. We're going to cash in this mission because we needed to get to stage 7. And now it's wanting us to equip a support type champion with 4 life artifacts. And guess what? We can do that straight away. Happy days. But we're going to get rid of the shittier ones that she currently has on her. So she should be doing far better now. And that's 2 artifact challenges done at the same time as well. So we've got a fucking chunk of silver in there. And what we're going to do, because we need another tier 2, we've got 10 mystery shards here. So we're going to pull all of them at once and see what we end up with. Fingers crossed you would get a good rare. So we didn't get a good rare, but we did get the duelist, who is a tier 2 uncommon, and she's not too shabby. And we have summoned Force Champion, so that is another bit of a champion challenge done. So if we win a campaign battle using 4 champions of level 20 or higher, we'll be able to get the last one, and we'll be able to get a rare skill book. So we're not really going to be keeping her. She is good mainly because she can actually heal herself by 20% of the damage she inflicts. So if I were to give her like really, really high attack stats and she does a shitload of damage, she'll be able to heal herself 20% of that, which can make her survivability, quite high. But we're going to go ahead and put her on a build 1 because we're not going to be keeping her. But now we do have her towards being able to rank up sniper. So Keel needs to have another 2 tier 3s because we have 1. We need to get her to tier 3. And we're just going to keep all these guys at the minute as food. So now it wants me to basically just upgrade 4 life artifacts that we have given our war priest, which we're going to go right ahead and do. Because we've got all the silver, so we can just get that dunsies. Dunsies and out of the way. So ideally for the war priest, I want her to survive as long as possible. So I actually really want her defense to be quite high and her HP to be quite high. We don't really want her to have like crazy high attack stats or anything like that because she's a support champion. We're not really wanting her to be doing loads of damage. We want her to help everyone else do more damage. So that's that one done. Click the button! Fuck's sake. And now it wants me to use 4 XP brews in the tavern. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use them on Keel because he is magic affinity. So if you remember, one thing I did say is if I were to use a void one on him, he gets 12,500 XP. But if we use one that matches his affinity, he gets 18,750 instead. And it wants us to use 4. So now we've gone from level 13 to level 24. So he's a little beefcake now. And we were able to get 5 more shards from that, actually. And funnily enough, the next thing it wants us to do is summon 5 champions. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we got Sister Militant, who can be very helpful for a certain dungeon boss, because she attacks all enemies at once. But she's pretty shitty, so we're not really going to use her. This is almost like the upgraded version of her, to be honest, called Battle Sister, because she is a tier 2. We're going to use her to upgrade our sniper. I don't really use her either. She's not great, in my opinion. Then we got another ranger. Not going to use them either. No. And then we've got a duplicate of her. So we're going to collect that silver reward. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to rank up our sniper. So now our sniper is rank 3. We're able to use her to upgrade Keel when Keel reaches level 30. And then I'm going to put him, because he's a fusion one, I'm going to put him in Bolt. So the next mission then it wants us to do is clear stage 1 or higher of the Arcane Keep. So that's actually going to be our introduction to dungeons. So if we go into the dungeon section, so there's multiple sections of the game. So we're primarily focusing on campaign. We're going to move on to our first dungeon. So the dungeon map all has different sections to it as well. So these ones here that are called the keeps, they're your potion ones. So if you want to ascend your champions, you need to be doing, the right one depending on their affinity. So for Keel, I want to get his potions for the magic keep, but it's locked until Wednesday. But if I wanted to ascend and work on one of my force champions, now would be the time to do it. and to be grinding the force keep to get as many force potions as possible. But what our mission wants us to do is complete stage 1 of the arcane keep. So when we ascend our champion, we need arcane potions for all champions regardless, and then whatever one matches their affinity. So for that reason, the arcane the arcane keep bosses are like it's all the same dude, but his affinity is void. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put in um put them in. We'll put our main team in, even though um Keel's gonna be doing most of the damage. He might fucking die, and she's just there for support. Still should be easy enough. So dungeons work the same way in terms of like, well, your potion dungeons. They're the same as campaigns in terms of they have 3 rounds. So you'll have one round where you're just fighting champions, and then round 2 will be just fighting champions, and then round 3 will be the actual like boss, and then you take him down and you get your reward. So now I could use his skill to get him and maybe War Priest or maybe Keel to come in and help and do a little bit of damage, but I don't actually want to do that until we get to the boss. I want to keep that skill if he actually survives till then, because that did a chunk of damage and she's going for him too. So now Keel is going to try to take out like the little bodyguard dudes. And he's now going to call on an ally to help him. So he's calling in Keel, so they'll both attack him. And she's actually going to heal him. And then we're really just trying to do as much damage as we can. She's going to increase their attack skill, taking out one of their bodyguards. And he's going to call someone in to help him, call Keel again, and they're just going to finish him off. So that'll be that mission completed. So now we've gotten to level 12, so we've got more energy again, and what we've unlocked then is the classic arena. So this is the PvP I was talking about. So you test yourself and your own champions against other players from around the world, unlock permanent bonuses for your champions, and earn huge rewards. So through our great hall and in our castle, then them little upgrades I was telling you about, they're the permanent bonuses. So you can like upgrade their attack or you can upgrade their HP. But them bonuses only apply to them champions when they're in the classic arena. So you're not going to get that like boosted stat or whatever when you go into a dungeon or go into campaigns or something like that. So Crusader actually leveled up, which is fantastic. We're going to go back to our castle. We're going to claim that, and now it's wanting us to do chapter 3 of the campaign. So we've done our daily quests. We're going to, I think, we don't have any more shards to summon anyone. We've already done one dungeon boss. I think we're going to do this one. So we're going to upgrade an artifact to level 12, and we're just going to beef our champions up again. So because attack is the main stat on his chest piece, we're going to go ahead and try to upgrade it to level 12, just so again he is doing more and more and more and more and more damage. So now I want this to continue climbing on up to level 12, and that will be that weekly quest done. I don't know why it's like not letting me click on them from there though. Very annoying. So we've done that weekly quest. We'll be working on these just as we play a bit more. And then for our challenges, it wants us to win a campaign battle using 4 champions that are level 20. And our only level 20 champion at the minute is Kale. And we don't even have like a 4th champion that we really, really want to use at the minute. Like he's good for now, but he'll be very, very quickly swapped out. If I get a different support champion that I'm thinking of that comes to mind that is also a rare one, I'm going to be swapping out War Priest for her. So I'm not really going to be like investing, too much into War Priest either. The only one I'm really, really investing in, obviously, is Kale. Then for artifacts, it wants us to go back to chapter 1 and go to stage 1 and win 2 more weapons from doing that. So we're going to actually go ahead and go back there and do that. And we'll work on getting our champions leveled up a little tiny bit more in the process. So we just need to get 2 more swords as a reward. But we got a shard instead, which we're not annoyed about because we do need to have, we need to fill out our roster, at least have like a main team of, 4 would be handy. And we've got another shard again. Not annoyed at it. The more times we're doing it, the more we're grinding, getting XP. And the more shards we get, the better. Anyway. So there we've got 1 sword, so it's shite, so I'm just going to sell it and we're going to do it again. We'll get another sword, then we'll go back and we'll pull them shards and see what we end up with. Yep, so we've got that done. That's that challenge completed as well. So we've actually gotten 10k silver from doing that. And then we're going to pull these 2 shards. So we've got shite. And we've got shite. So we're not going to be keeping any either of them either, which is annoying. But again, with free to play, you get what you're given. You do your best, with the champions that you have, with the champions, that you're getting. And at the end of like the initial 7 days on the account, we are going to get the shaman anyway, and we're definitely going to add her to our roster. She has a couple of skills which are very, very useful for the type of champion that she is. She might end up being the one that replaces War Priest, and we're just sort of using War Priest for now temporarily. And then War Priest will be made into kill food to level him up or rank him up and make him better, because that's who we're really super duper focusing on. It's our main man. So we've done a load of missions. I'm not going to go through this stage of the campaign till tomorrow. We've done our daily quests. We've got that sorted, and we have managed to do 1 weekly quest. We'll be able to do another weekly quest tomorrow as well, and we're just sort of chipping away at our monthly ones just as we play. And hopefully we might be able to achieve that tomorrow as well. We can go we can get these done tomorrow too. We'll actually do this now because the Force Keep is open actually. So we'll go and we'll clear stage 1, 2, and 3 of the Force Keep rather than having to wait a full week to be able to go do it. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge simply because um, we're quite weak against horse champions. So we've got our main champion is a magic affinity, and force is going to be doing a lot of damage to Keel. So she's really needing to support Keel, and he's just going to be chipping away and doing what he can. If our current team isn't even able to manage doing stage 1, 2, and 3, um, yeah, that'd be an issue. She's going to heal him. Hopefully, he survives a little longer. Then she's going to increase everyone's attack. So that's Crusader dead. Now her other skills are on cooldown, so she's actually going to be trying to do some damage now, but Keel struggling a wee bit health wise. And this is only stage 1, never mind stage 2 and 3, so we might not actually be able to get through 2 and 3. So we managed stage 1 okay. Good though, Crusader was able to get a little bit of a level up. So we're gonna take a stab at stage 2. So you're gonna do the same, you're gonna heal him. Then you're gonna help everyone's attack. She's gonna try to do a little bit of damage. Because she's spirit, she does like extra damage to force. But because her damage in general, like just because she's not, her stats aren't great, she still doesn't do, a good chunk. Again, Keel's now struggling with his health, so she's gonna help him a wee bit. Right, Earth Keel dead, so she basically now has to get through this on her own, or it's going to be a fail. So she's gonna increase her own attack and then continue just attacking him. But it's not looking likely that she's gonna be able to do it by herself. So it looks like our team currently at the minute isn't strong enough to do stage 2. So that just means that we know we've a little bit of work to do, but we're not going to be able to get through to the fourth keep again till it's been like a week, because they're all in rotation. So by the time it gets back round to being unlocked and being open, hopefully we'll be able to take it on then. Um, there's not really a doubt in my mind that by the time it comes around again, we will be able to tackle it. But at the minute, the team just isn't strong enough. I mean, I could dump some silver into them to maybe if I worked on his defense even. But there's not really much point in doing that when tomorrow when I log in, we're gonna get different items again. So we're gonna be able to get the next part of the lifestyle set to then put on Keel, and that'll help. So there's no point kind of wasting the silver. So I think I'm gonna just request to join my clan, and then I'll go onto my other account off screen um, and accept that. So at least we'll be in a clan by tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow we are going to make some campaign progress. We're going to maybe we could get Keel to rank 4 tomorrow. We'll do our daily quests. We'll do another weekly quest. We'll chip away at our monthly quests. Hopefully get a challenge or two done, and then because we'll be in a clan, we will be able to start doing clan boss and getting rewards for clan boss and working on our clan boss strategy. So I'm going to leave this part here. That will be then day 3 of this account. So tomorrow we will be seeing day